subject, for a third Lakers win would create a highly imbalanced equation. Boston turned to the game tapes as a tool to study the Lakers' strengths, to digest tendencies, to look for an edge, any edge, that could tie up the series. If the videotape could provide one, the Celtics waited anxiously for that slow dissolve into game action. From the opening tap, Game 4 shaped up as a classic struggle. Larry Bird's shooting eye returned, while the Lakers' fast break remained in peak form. The score in action was close and lively, as both teams squelched their physical play for a finesse style. The Celtics' strategy was to hone in on Kareem, forcing him to exit early with 2 personal fouls. Boston's videotape classroom revealed LA's reduced mobility whenever the hobbled Mitch Kupchak replaced Abdul-Jabbar. But Mitch Kupchak has never been a stranger to challenges. Kupchak had gained a reputation as a sixth man for the Washington Bullets, contributing heavily to the team's 1978 championship drive. His strong inside play moved to Los Angeles, but in his 34th game as a Laker, Kupchak suffered a severe knee injury. Kupchak was determined to return, but doctors feared irreparable damage. Teammates like Kurt Rambis questioned Kupchak's comeback chances.
Practically everybody except himself counted Mitch out. In fact, that probably worked in a positive fashion for Mitch, because he said, I'm going to prove everybody wrong, and I'm going to come back and not only play, but I'm going to play well.
You know, when I got injured my first year, I sat back and watched the next 4 years the Lakers go to the finals, and I could not contribute. And when I was able to come back, it acted like a motivating factor. So I knew all I had to do was get back, and I'd be in the finals.
Kupchak had arisen from the NBA ashes. His hustle and determination kept Los Angeles close, while Dennis Johnson kept Boston close, with sheer cunning, driving the lane whenever Bird or McHale were double-teamed. He lured the taller Laker guards to challenge his all-NBA defensive skills. He camouflaged his reckless, gambling style to force numerous Laker turnovers. He was the sly fox hunting LA's thoroughbreds, keeping Boston neck and neck by halftime. The Forum's splashy floor show mirrored the action, appealing and in step. Superb entertainment for those who entertain. Yet beneath the talk show smiles was the disturbing memory of last year's identical scenario and that pivotal Game 4 loss. But in LA, sequels are meant to be left on the soundstage. The one technique the Lakers may have borrowed from Movieland was special effects. The Lakers' third-quarter defense appeared to be porous and susceptible as they backed away from the Celtics' passing lanes. But it was an illusion as LA snared Celtic passes and bombarded them with unchallenged layups. Boston knew this was no gimmickry as the Lakers streaked to a 14-point swing. The Celtic regulars were being overwhelmed, and Casey Jones was desperate. Jones rotated 4 subs into the lineup, hoping they could slow the Lakers. Boston's second unit did that and more, as Greg Kite bottled up the middle and Quinn Buckner hit a critical 20-footer. The Lakers were folding fast as Boston's second string brought the Celtics to within a basket by the start of the fourth quarter. It was now time for the refreshing Celtic starters to resume their duties, led by that fourth-quarter maven, Larry Bird.
I like to play a strong fourth quarter. If I play a strong fourth quarter and we're close, I feel that we're going to win the game. If I'm getting mile-sized shots and I'm moving on the offensive end, it seems like the defense sort of watches me more than any other player that we have.
Bird had already showed his fourth-quarter prowess in Game 2. In Game 4, he was an outright tour de force, gobbling up and throwing down anything he could get his hands on. Bird single-handedly catapulted Boston into the lead to increase LA's recurring paranoia. But the Lakers refused to crack as a Magic Johnson steal forged LA back on top with 2:45 remaining. Emotions were swept up by the ebb and tide of lead changes. The Lakers keyed on Larry Bird down the stretch, allowing others like Danny Ainge to carry the burden. Ainge's second straight jumper put Boston up by 2 with 33 seconds remaining. Now the Lakers would have to respond. Fortunately, they had a little magic up their sleeve.
Magic Randy's got it, takes it over to Scotty. Scotty in low to Kareem. Swing left, shoot right, a 15-footer in and out. No. Rebound is off. Put up and in.
Magic Johnson's tying basket sent the Forum into pandemonium as Laker fans envisioned at the very worst an overtime. Containing Bird and Ainge appeared to be the solution to keep the score tied at 105 all. But with 19 ticks left on the scoreboard, the world champions had the time and a notion how to bring down an early curtain on Showtime.
Right now, there's a double stack, and Larry walks through the lane coming to the right. And he gets the pass. Goes into the lane. Jump pass back out to DJ. DJ throws. Oh, it's gone! It's gone! And no time left! It's all over! It is all over! Boston wins the all-important fourth game!
The 107-105 triumph not only tied up the series, but also guaranteed Boston another game at home. The victorious Celtics would have earned rave reviews in Variety. Their Hollywood finish showcased a colorful cast, an exciting plot, and even a soundtrack.
We hate the LA Lakers. We think Jack Nicholson's a fool. We hate the LA Lakers, and we know the Celtics will beat them soon. Hey!
Boston's Back Bay braggadocio was worlds apart from Los Angeles' elan. Stylish Laker fans approach a home game with a sense of fashion, savoring it as if it were a prize-winning Beaujolais instead of a discount brew. However, Laker general manager Jerry West would have gladly settled for barroom rowdiness if it could bring home a championship. West had seen many Laker teams dry up against Boston, and he hoped Coach Pat Riley could lead LA to their coveted oasis. But all the pressure was on the Lakers themselves. They needed a victory in Game 5 to avert the necessity of winning 2 games at the ominous Boston Garden. It would be a critical game with both teams suffering handicaps. The Lakers were without forward Jamaal Wilkes, while Boston was saddled with a subpar Cedric Maxwell, last year's 7th game hero. For storylines past and present, the final game in Los Angeles had to be the Lakers. LA knew that no one man could dominate play, that winning depended on the solidarity of a cohesive unit. The mixture of great talent has always been the foundation of the Lakers' success. But winning in the clutch takes more than that. These superb parts had to mesh as one perfect machine. Like all machines, the Lakers needed a pump to get them going. That responsibility belonged to Kurt Rambis, a human battering ram, Pat Riley's catalyst.
I've always felt that players like Kurt that might not be blessed with all the natural abilities, but as Bill Russell once said, he's always felt that hustle was the extreme talent, and that's what Kurt gives us.
In many ways, Kurt Rambis is a Rambo in high tops, an unheralded star willing to sacrifice himself for the cause. Like the screen hero, the Celtics always knew he was coming to get him. Rambis's efforts gave Boston plenty of headaches. Teammate James Worthy made them go bleary-eyed. Every time the Celtics looked around, there was James Worthy ready to fill the hoop with thunder. Like Kevin McHale, it had taken a few years for Worthy to gain superstar status. He has redefined the power forward position by blending a strong, wiry frame with explosive speed. Worthy proved to be too much too often for the Celtics as he coasted to 19 first-half points. The Lakers' front line paced Los Angeles to a 64-51 halftime lead, and in the third period, everything was going the Lakers' way. Boston couldn't get a break, and matters were compounded when a technical was called on Casey Jones. Jones walked onto the court to dispute the call with referee Darryl Garrettson. His protest incited a second technical and a game ejection, leaving Boston 17 points in the hole and without their head coach. The genius of Red Auerbach may have been behind Jones's stormy exit, a tactic Auerbach often used to fire up his squad. It was an old trick for new dogs as the Celtics started a long march back into contention. Kareem had great success with 26 points in 3 periods. But in the final phase, his teammates looked to him too often,